Forget the high-impact gym routines you've been told are necessary for longevity. For decades, we've been sold this idea that to stay healthy after 60, 70, and beyond, we need to be on treadmills, lifting heavy weights, and pushing our bodies through grueling workouts. But if you've ever felt that dread when you think about going to the gym, I have news for you that might just change everything. Science now proves that the secret to keeping your joints lubricated and muscles dense after 70 isn't found on a treadmill. It's found in your garden. Yes, your garden. Today, we are breaking down the biomechanics of how simple weeding, pruning, and planting actually outperforms traditional weightlifting for the modern active senior. This is the hidden biomechanics of your backyard. Let's start by looking at how we've been taught to exercise. The typical gym environment is filled with machines. There are leg press machines, chest press machines, lat pull-down stations. These machines are designed to isolate specific muscles by controlling your range of motion. You sit down, you adjust the seat, and you push or pull in one straight line. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with this. It does build strength. But here's the critical distinction that exercise science is now making clear for aging bodies. Gym machines train your muscles in what we call artificial, linear movements. Life, however, does not happen in a straight line. Life happens in 3 dimensions. When you reach for a glass in a high cabinet, you're twisting and extending. When you carry groceries from the car, you're stabilizing against uneven weight distribution. When you chase a grandchild across the yard, you're stopping, starting, and changing direction. These are all complex, multi-planar motions. And this is where the gym machine falls short. It trains your muscles in isolation but ignores the intricate network of stabilizer muscles and connective tissues that actually protect your joints in real-world scenarios. The flower bed, on the other hand, is a chaotic, unpredictable landscape. And that chaos is exactly what your body craves for functional longevity. Consider the act of weeding. You spot a dandelion tucked beneath a rose bush. To reach it, you don't just bend forward in a straight line. You might squat down, shift your weight to one leg, reach your arm across your body, grip the weed, and then pull while maintaining your balance on uneven soil. In that single 5-second action, you have just engaged your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, core stabilizers, obliques, deltoids, forearm flexors, and the tiny intrinsic muscles of your feet that keep you anchored. This is what biomechanists call a compound, multi-planar movement. It's the gold standard for functional fitness, and you just did it without thinking about it. Now, let's talk about that functional reach required for pruning. When you're trimming a shrub or reaching for a branch overhead, you're not just lifting your arm. You're engaging what's known as the posterior chain in a dynamic way. You might be on your toes slightly. Your core is engaged to prevent you from toppling forward. And your shoulder stabilizers, those tiny rotator cuff muscles that are so prone to injury as we age, are firing actively to control the movement of the pruners. Standard weightlifting, particularly with machines, often ignores these stabilizers. Machines guide the movement for you, so those tiny, crucial muscles never have to learn to fire. Over time, they weaken and atrophy. Then, one day, you reach for something the wrong way, and those weak stabilizers fail, leading to a strain or a tear. Gardening forces those stabilizers to stay engaged and strong because there's no machine guiding you. Your body is the machine, and it has to figure out how to balance itself in real time. This brings us to the concept of gardening as a stealth workout. One of the biggest barriers to exercise for seniors isn't physical ability. It's mental. It's the dread of the gym. It's the boredom of the treadmill. It's the self-consciousness of being in a room full of people who seem to know what they're doing. Formal exercise often feels like a chore, another item on the to-do list. And when something feels like a chore, we find reasons to avoid it. We skip days. We lose momentum. And eventually, we stop altogether. Gardening bypasses this mental barrier entirely because it doesn't feel like exercise. You're not working out. You're tending to your tomatoes. You're not lifting weights. You're moving a bag of soil. You're not doing cardio. You're spending an hour outside, breathing fresh air, and making your space beautiful. The focus is on the outcome, the vibrant flowers, the fresh vegetables, not on the physical effort. But while your mind is focused on the beauty of your garden, your body is quietly getting one of the most comprehensive, joint-friendly workouts available. Let's break down exactly what's happening biomechanically during common gardening tasks. We'll start with digging. Digging is a phenomenal full-body exercise. It requires you to hinge at the hips, which engages the glutes and hamstrings, muscles that are critical for maintaining mobility and preventing falls. As you drive the shovel into the ground, you're using your upper back and shoulders. Then, as you lift the soil, you engage your core and legs to power the movement. It's a dynamic, explosive movement that builds bone density through the impact and resistance. Compare that to a seated row machine, which isolates the back while your legs and core remain passive. The digging motion teaches your entire body to work as a cohesive unit, which is exactly what you need when you trip on a curb or need to catch yourself. Next, consider kneeling and standing repeatedly while planting. This repetitive transition from ground to standing is essentially a controlled squat or lunge, performed dozens of times in a session. These repetitions build endurance in the quadriceps and glutes, which are the primary muscles that help you get out of chairs, out of cars, and off the floor if you ever fall. The ability to get up off the ground is one of the strongest predictors of longevity and independence. Gardening naturally trains that movement pattern over and over again. Then there's the carrying. Moving watering cans, bags of mulch, pots, and tools. This isn't a perfectly balanced barbell. The weight shifts, sloshes, and challenges your grip strength. Grip strength, by the way, is a massive biomarker for longevity. Studies have shown that grip strength correlates strongly with overall mortality risk. When you carry an uneven load, you're not just building hand strength. You're building the neural connections that keep your hands dexterous and capable. Fine motor skills, maintained through activities like handling small seeds or tying up plants, keep the brain-body connection sharp and may even help stave off cognitive decline. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. What about safety? The gym feels controlled. The garden feels unpredictable. And it's true, gardening does come with its own set of risks if approached carelessly. But here's the perspective shift I want to offer. The controlled nature of the gym can actually create a false sense of security, leading to injuries when you step back into the uncontrolled real world. Gardening, done mindfully, teaches you to move safely in a real-world environment. It teaches you body awareness. You learn to feel when you're twisting too far. You learn to brace your core before lifting a heavy pot. You learn to bend with your knees because if you don't, your back will let you know immediately. It's a feedback loop that keeps your movement patterns honest and safe. To do it safely, we just need to apply a little wisdom. Treat gardening like you would any workout. Warm up first. A 5-minute walk around the yard, some gentle arm circles, and a few knee lifts will prepare your body. Use ergonomic tools that reduce strain on your joints. Kneeling pads protect your knees. Long-handled tools prevent excessive bending. And perhaps most importantly, vary your tasks. Don't spend 2 hours straight on your knees weeding. Spend 20 minutes weeding, then switch to pruning standing up, then switch to raking or sweeping. This variety is exactly what your body needs. It prevents overuse injuries and keeps the workout balanced. The science backs this up. Research into blue zones, those regions of the world where people live the longest and healthiest lives, consistently points to one thing. These centenarians don't run marathons. They don't have gym memberships. They live in environments where movement is woven into the fabric of daily life. They garden well into their 90s and beyond. They walk everywhere. They tend to animals. They chop wood. It's constant, low-intensity, functional movement that never feels like a workout, yet it builds bodies that are resilient, strong, and mobile for decades. So what does this mean for you? It means you can let go of the guilt. If you've been avoiding the gym, if the thought of structured exercise feels daunting or unpleasant, you are not lazy. You may simply be craving a more natural way to move. Your body evolved over millions of years to walk, squat, reach, carry, and pull in complex environments. It did not evolve to sit on a padded seat and push a metal bar in a straight line. By returning to the garden, you are returning to movement patterns that are deeply encoded in your biology. And the benefits extend beyond the physical. There's a profound mental and emotional component to gardening that no gym can replicate. The exposure to sunlight helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which we discussed in our last video, improving your sleep. The contact with soil has been linked to improved mood through exposure to beneficial microbes. The sense of purpose, of nurturing something and watching it grow, provides a psychological boost that reduces stress and anxiety. You're not just building muscle, you're building resilience in your mind and soul. As we move through our 70s and beyond, the goal shifts from building maximum strength to maintaining functional capacity. It's not about how much you can lift on a leg press. It's about whether you can get down on the floor to play with your grandkids and get back up again without help. It's about whether you can carry your own groceries, tend to your own home, and maintain your independence. Gardening builds that specific kind of strength. It builds the strength you need for life. So, The next time you're outside pulling weeds or planting a new perennial, I want you to pause for a moment and feel what's happening in your body. Feel the burn in your legs as you squat. Feel the stretch in your back as you reach. Feel the grip in your hands as you pull. Recognize that you are not just gardening. You are performing a complex, multi-planar, functional workout that is keeping your joints lubricated, your muscles dense, and your future bright. If you've been looking for permission to ditch the gym routine that never felt right, consider this your permission slip. The garden is waiting for you. It doesn't require a membership. It doesn't require special clothes. It just requires you to show up and move in the way humans were always meant to move. Thank you for joining me today on Golden Years Wisdom. If this video sparked a new way of thinking about exercise and aging, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. We're building a community here that values wisdom over trends and real, sustainable health over quick fixes. Share this video with a friend who has a beautiful garden and doesn't even realize they're getting the workout of a lifetime. And if you have a favorite gardening task that leaves you feeling strong and accomplished, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Let's inspire each other. Next time, we're going to dive into another surprising source of longevity, something you probably do every day without realizing its profound impact on your health.